Hey up guys, Just back at it again with a brand new video. Today, we're reviewing another episode of Pokemon Horizons. Now, I got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into the review. Alright, before I address the clear elephant in the room, I want to actually discuss the episode first. So people who want to know about the episode can watch, and then leave if they don't want to get spoiled. Basically, this episode begins with a calm before the storm, which the Volt Tacklers all buying stuff. Liko, Orla, Molly, all getting supplies, and we see Roy and Freed waiting online at a pastry shop to get a special pastry. Well, yep, it makes sense. After being called out for what they're doing, Freed runs off to do something, and he leaves Roy on the line. Orla and Molly decide it's probably best to leave Liko with Roy so he doesn't cause any problems. And as Roy's going, I won't cause any problems, Coco immediately starts going off and he loses track of it. And I think that's just a fun little opening, and it just really shows off the dynamic of the Volt Tacklers and the dynamic of Liko and Roy. Liko is this more older sister to Roy who helps him out and basically is a guide to him. I also like that Hatena's with them, and Hatena reacts to stuff in the background, compared to somebody's Pokemon not ever being present. Yeah, where's Wattrel, Roy? Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep harassing this kid about his Wattrel until we see it. It's like Ash's Journeys team. When they disappear for 20 episodes, I'm eventually gonna want to see it. Especially if we're getting other characters. We're seeing Liko's Hatena, who was caught after Wattrel in basically every episode. And we've been seeing Tinkatink in every episode too, which I'll skip ahead because this episode gets a lot into plot. There's a cute little side, little just segment of Tinkatink wanting to eat with Dot and Quaxley, but Dot is too busy, so it walks off, eats with the rest of the ship Pokemon while Murdoch feeds it, goes to walk off and drops all the food. That's when Terrapagos, being the chat it is, helps it out, leads it to Ludlow and Quagsire, where Quagsire decides to split some of its food with Tinkatink, and they head into the room, and she eats with Dot. I like this scene, it's cute, and I like that Terrapagos isn't being a mindless baby for once in its life, and it actually shows that it's adapted to the ship life, that it straight up said, hey buddy, if you want some good food to share with your trainer, why don't you go to Ludlow's Quagsire and he'll give you some nice berries. I just think it's definitely interesting that out of everything, this is the most mature of Terrapagos we've seen in the Terrapagos Gleaming arc, which at the end of this episode I am going to complain about something, so yeah, let's just get into the next part of the plot. We basically see the explorers who last episode were hinted to have been in a base nearby, and at the end of this episode are confirmed to be in that base. Basically see Onyx and Coral, which I'm pretty sure Onyx got a new American name, so I don't know what that is, so I'm just going to keep calling him Onyx for now, so I actually learn it, then I'll switch over, maybe. But yeah, he sends her off to do some errands, and she's actually wearing the Terrastal cap that was promoted, and we see her get online for the pastries. Meanwhile, Liko and Roy are doing the last bits of their shopping when they see an old man throw out his back with a Wiglet. And we see them actually help him out, and because of this, they get the treats that Roy and Freed wanted. And I think that's really nice and cool that we actually see them help out this old guy. It's something Ash would do, and it's just nice seeing them looking after this guy. It's also cute seeing how they do it. I'm pretty sure Liko said, oh, Hatena helped him out with Heal Pulse at first, and then Sprigatito massaged into his back during the whole ride. Yeah. After that, we see a hilarious scene of Coral trying to get the treats after the sweet stands open, and we see her in line counting the people, knowing she's gonna get it. And that's when a cutie fly that was in front of her the whole time that she assumed was some trainers picks up the sweets and flies off, and she gets pissed. And this was so funny. We see her throw a temper tantrum, threaten the stand, and get kicked out. And I think that's hilarious. we've seen a bit of her personality in that episode where the second she basically didn't get what she wanted, she flipped out and exploded, and I loved her. She's like one of my favorite explorers. I'm sad to say, she's my third favorite explorer because I love a Spinel and a Mythio that much. Spinel is such a great antagonist, and Amithio is just such a fun character to follow when we actually get episodes about him. Like that episode where he was training was like a really good episode, and I just loved Amithio's part. But yeah, she sees Liko and Roy with the snacks, so she does the one reasonable thing. She challenges them to a battle by a Snorlax rock. Yep, we've been like seeing this episode teased for a while that, oh, the explorers challenge the riding Lothathers. Maybe it's for dependent, for Terrapagos. But no, it is because Coral wants snacks. And the best part about it is, Liko literally offers to give her some of their snacks. But because she realized how much of a fool she looks like, she still battles them and gets pissed at them and reveals that she's an explorer to them. So then they go to fight, and that's when Onyx was like, what are you doing? And just gets involved in the fight. Yeah. So the battle begins. It's basically Liko versus Onyx and Coral versus Roy. The better type matches up for each of them, but they lose. Or they aren't losing, but they're having some difficulties, which makes sense. Still, a loss is a loss, and you basically see Liko and Roy struggle yet again. We see if Dot now got 2 wins, and Liko and Roy still can't get on-screen wins. Unless it is the most pathetic Pokemon, or basically the Pokemon runs off. Yeah. I do like this battle. I like the idea of Liko and Roy getting curb stomped. That's going to set up the next arc. And it even shows they're powerful. Like, they're getting off good hits, but the problem is they don't know what to do with it. They're not strategic, or being strategical. Or Roy's not being as strategical. He's more just bursting out attacks, and his strategy comes to him by accident both times. While Liko's trying to be strategical, but because of that, she has to instead brute force this defensive Pokemon. So I think that's a good like counter to both of them, because we know Liko's the more strategic type, and Roy's the more I'm gonna just do my own thing kind of guy. So
nah, yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Then
detail I really like is just the whole thing of how Roy gets the upper hand on Coral. Coral basically freezes Suicune, but because it's a fire type, it would melt out the ice. Yeah. But then they're fighting on an ice battlefield, and because of its icicle spinner, Roy can't hit it. That's when Roy decides to basically use Stomping Tantrum to not have like a level battlefield. So Galili gets like knocked off course. I studied there. I really want to say Orangairu or whatever its name is, because I just like love Coral's little Orangairu when she commands it and gets angry, and I think that's so fun. And Liko basically, Sprigatito uses Overgrow, and it's able to just basically shoot enough magical leaves that it's like overpowering target. After this, basically, instead of finishing their battle, they actually get an alert from, I think it's Spinel, but at the HQ, whoever's at the HQ alerts them that they're about to summon Rayquaza and they need them at the HQ. So they decide to run off. Coral still wants to battle and get her treats. Then we see Onyx send out an Aerodactyl, pick her up, and they fly off. Okay, this kind of ending for a battle, I'm not that mad at. Because, like, yeah, you can't, like, have Liko and Roy beat them, but you also at a point where if they lose, they were screwed. We saw Liko try to call Captain Pikachu and Freed, but she couldn't get a hold of them because of the battle. And even if she did, we see her call him right after, and they take a minute to get there. When Freed gets there, they discuss what just happened, and Freed actually puts together that the base they have in the Paladin picture is actually the Explorer's base. So yeah, Freed wants to go investigate, and you get a cool little scene of Liko and Roy actually giving them the treats that they got, and we see Liko and Roy look off in the distance, ready for next episode. Now I gotta say, this episode was a banger. This is the perfect way to basically just balance out what we have been getting. This episode starts off nice and slow and more slice of life, like the last couple of episodes. Like, because realistically, since the Explorer fight at the castle, we've only really gotten 4 majorly plot episodes. And that was the last episode of Liko sets off. So basically, the first most of the Terrapagos arc is filler. And that's why I don't like the Terrapagos arc. Comparatively, it has some of the better episodes. Like, it has like the best capture of the series, the best like encounter with the Lucian Pokemon, and just overall like really good episodes. But the fact that what it is just compared to Liko was sent off, the more just slower, what should have been a slower arc became more fast paced and having more plot, and just basically one real filler episode that isn't even filler because it sets up a capture and the next villain is just real. But yeah, I like the idea that after basically how many episodes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4, 5 and a half, 6.5 episodes of filler, and the halves all being the capture, the episode where Sprigatito learns Leafage, Dot and her mother, and Palafin, because I'm not counting that Fuecoco episode. Fuecoco could have learned that off screen and nothing would have changed. But yeah, after all of that filler, it's actually a cool like little transition to see, oh, slice of life, right into action with Coral. And Coral just shined this episode. I hope we see more of Onyx next episode, because Onyx and whatever the last one's name is, I have no clue. Basically, don't get as much shine as Spinel, Amithio, and now Coral did in this episode. I also really liked, like I said earlier, how the battle played out, where Liko had to be more strategic. I mean, brute force while really strategic. And I really hope that upcoming training arc, yeah, that's right, guys, it's a training arc, and that's the most you're gonna get out of it. We see more of this. But yeah, that's all I really gotta say, but without just speculating on next episode, which I am excited for. And yeah, that'll happen next week. We'll see when I get the review out for that one. But for those who don't want spoilers on what I'm about to say, we can leave now. But if you don't care, stay. Also, before you go, I gotta say this episode was about an 8 out of 10. Could have had like more better things, and just the battle be a little better. But yeah, overall it was a good episode, and yeah, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, leave a comment about your thoughts on the episode, and if you decide to stay, leave a comment on your thought of this news. Alright, spoilers in 3, 2, 1, Sprigatito evolves and we're getting a Paldea school arc. That's right, I cannot wait. I've known Sprigatito is going to evolve, and like I've mentioned in videos that it will evolve, but yeah. The fact that Nemona's coming back, we're seeing the Elite Four, I can't wait. I have more just thoughts about this that I want to discuss in a theory video upcoming, but I can't wait for this arc. I just wanted to say to you guys, just like say, oh, I did see it and I can't wait. I've been waiting for a Paldea arc. As you guys know, on this channel, I do a lot of what ifs. Eventually, I did want to get to do a Horizons one. I was just waiting for the series to end to see like what I can do with it and like, what I can change, because that was like the main reason I ended the Journeys what if, because like I do stuff or I had stuff planned for that, but then the actual anime would just like do something I thought was better, and I don't really like that. Like I gave Ash Grookey, I don't really like that idea anymore, and when I get up back to Galvar in my current what if timeline that I'm doing with Ash from Kanto all the way to whatever I had decided to end with, I'm gonna keep some things the same as that one, some things different, but yeah. In my Horizons what if, one of my major things I was going to do is, I was probably going to keep the beginning the same, but I was going to have Liko go to the Orange or Violet Academy, go to the Rising World Tacklers as her treasure hunt, but then eventually go back to the school, and they were just going to get all the school things like knocked out, like Team Star, they were gonna meet Arvin, and Arvin was also gonna explain some lore around Herba Mystica and maybe how Wushin's Pokemon are so big. Because I want to discuss that also in the upcoming theory video. That's why Wushin's Pokemon I think are so big, because of the Herba Mysticas from Area Zero. But just seeing this and knowing Nemona's coming back, my favorite character ever, I just can't wait. And we're getting to go there. What more could we ask for as Horizons fans? But anyway, guys, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe for more content in the future, because we are up to getting close to a banger. But yeah, S-Man signing off.